Hello again, good to see you. We're going to dive right inside with LaLiga Insiders alongside Gemma, Soler, Fernando, Palomo. We're going to preview match day 5 in La Liga. Barcelona and their goal-scoring machine. They travel to Cadiz, they can't even buy a goal. Real Madrid against Mallorca at home early on Sunday. A very hot day and humid day on Sunday. And what's new? All that with our insiders. We'll finish off with some extra time featuring Joaquin. And you know that if it features Joaquin, there's got to be something funny behind that. So, Gemma, very busy week for you covering European football. Now we settle down and we look ahead into match day 5 in La Liga. With everything that has to do with what comes up tomorrow as a consequence of what happened yesterday. So yesterday, Barcelona, on the back of another Robert Lewandowski European hat-trick, this time around with the Blaugrana shirt, they saw 6 changes in their lineup. Is it something that we're going to have to get used to with the coming match days as well? Not seeing that recurrent starting 11 for Xavi.
Yes, definitely. We will be seeing this, Fernando, because as we have been mentioning since the beginning of the season, this is an exceptional year. There is a World Cup in the middle, and coaches need to take a lot of care of their stars, of their players, and taking into account this exceptionality. And I think that's one of the best news about this Barcelona, that there were 6 changes and the engine, the machine still worked. It took a little bit to get through Victoria Pilsen, but they managed. And with, for example, with Jordi Alba, a player who has been enjoying really few minutes, just one start in the opening game against Rayo, he kind of did good. So that's, I think, the point of what Xavi wants to do, to keep on track a big number of players so they can help when he needs. We're talking about this next game, this match day 5, Fernando, against Cadiz. It's quite a tough rival, quite a complicated stadium, this Nuevo Mirandilla. I would recommend, though, Fernando, I'm sure you will, to watch this game on ESPN Plus, because it's one of the funniest stadiums in Spain, one of the funniest fan base. They sing all the time. They sing a lot of funny songs, even though they are in a really complicated and sad moment right now, because they haven't started well this season.
Well, this is a team that has no goals in 4 match days, no wins, no points at all, with Sergio González trusted by management, but yet again is a team that is not looking brightly. The only bright spot for Cadiz looking ahead to this match is the fact that their living legend, Mágico González, will be at the stadium. That might be it for Sergio to look forward to when it comes to looking at Barcelona. That and the fact that they carry a positive record against the Blaugrana with no losses in the last 4 matches against Barcelona. But other than that, what can Cadiz look forward to when it comes to facing Barcelona and trying to stop that bad streak?
Well, first, as you mentioned, magic. With Mágico González on the pitch, why not? They can have a little bit of magic. As you were mentioning, they can remember what they managed to do last season. They didn't have any defeat against Barcelona. They managed to beat them at the Nuevo Mirandilla, and they also got this good draw against that Barcelona's Ronald Koeman team. So I think that that means that Sergio González, he's quite good in working with his team against Barcelona. He knows how to hurt these kind of teams. We could be expecting a similar game than the opening game against Rayo Vallecano, with a team that know how to hurt the rival and trying to do a good pressure and working very well the defensive side. So sometimes these kind of rivals are really complicated for Barcelona, that they need the space, they need a little bit to have more freedom to run with the ball. So we will see what Xavi is planning. I'm sure we will be seeing again different players in the start because they have such a complicated trip to Munich on Wednesday. So we'll be seeing a different Barcelona and trying, of course, to live on the power that they have in the forward line. They have so much quality in the final third this season, and I'm sure Xavi will try them to shine there in the Nuevo Mirandilla, in one of the most beautiful cities in Spain, Cadiz.
And one of the best atmospheres in La Liga by far with Cadiz crowd. Now, you've mentioned the power that they have up front with los tres de arriba, no? The three from up front. Lewandowski, Rafinha, Dembele. We saw Rafinha starting from the bench in the European match day. Now with Bayern ahead, can Lewandowski do the same against Cadiz? First of all, let's see what Lewandowski had to say after his European hat-trick. I feel great. The Champions League is always special. It's of course special for him. He's the third best scorer in competition history. It's important to stay focused like this. I want to score as many goals as possible. Really? We haven't noticed that. Now, the fact that Bayern are the next rivals in Europe, and the fact that Cadiz looks to be a opponent that Barcelona can do away with even without Lewandowski. Would Xavi want to rest the Polish for the upcoming Saturday match?
It could be. It could be yes. It could be not. That only depends on the physicality of the player. The logic tells us that he's 34. He should rest in some game, and that could be the one. And Xavi has enough quality there in the forward line with Ansu Fati. They are following a really programmed schedule with Ansu Fati. He had his first start under Xavi era. He played 60 minutes, so I'm sure he will be playing these minutes to get to the 100% competitive level. They have Memphis Depay that he hasn't been enjoying that much, but he could be helpful in a game like this. And they have Ferran Torres, which Xavi he's very fond of. So he has options there, and if that could be the first game where Lewandowski is sitting in the bench in the beginning of the game, or maybe not, because this kind of players also they know what they need to keep this level, and it's just the beginning of the season, and it could be that Robert Lewandowski talks to Xavi and the staff, and they monitor everything, so they know how he is. And I don't know, it could be an option. It looks like Fernando that the kind of game that he should rest. But as you know, sometimes these kind of competitive animals, they don't like that much to start the game on the bench.
They don't like to rest. And if we just heard what Lewandowski said, he likes to score at every chance possible. Well, he might see Cadiz as one of those chances to increase his goal tally at the beginning of this season. Now, this is a must-watch game even from minutes before the match starts. As again, Cadiz legend and Latin American legend, my personal idol, Mágico González, will be on the field with the ceremonial kickoff to the match. So if anybody paid a ticket to watch this match, you're being treated with a bonus track, just being able to see Mágico González touch the ball. Well, let's move forward now to Sunday's early kickoff. It's a 2 p.m. kickoff in Madrid when Real Madrid face Mallorca. You brought it up last time around, Gemma. Temperatures are still way up high when it comes to noontime around or afternoon time in Madrid. This is even earlier than last time around when they played Betis, and we all know what happened to your phone that time.
Yeah, actually, I didn't explain here in Insiders. Maybe someone who was watching the pre-match with Dan Thomas and Ale Moreno would realize that I was not getting crazy.
Who would miss a pre-match with Dan Thomas and Ale Moreno on ESPN Plus? Everybody does it. Even I'm about to call a game. I watched the pre-match on ESPN Plus with Dan Thomas. Who would miss a show with that clown?
So something really bad happened to me because I was listening to that great show and suddenly, bam, I lost the audio because my phone was like, it was in a frying pan. It was boiling. So my phone died. The phone, it was absolutely fried. And I had to put it in the shadow to take the producer's phone and to be back on the show. But that's just a little story to explain how hot it could be in Madrid. And this new Santiago Bernabeu is quite vertical, so it really makes some kind of like a frying pan. So yeah, they put this kind of schedule because they want all the world to enjoy La Liga, and the Japanese and this kind of sector, of course, they enjoy these early games, but I don't think it's really good for the game, for the players. It was really exhausting that day. I can remember the warm-up. That game against Betis, it was at the kickoff at 4 p.m. And the pre-game, the players were training only in the shadow. They didn't want to step on the sun. There will be no shadow next Saturday. So that could be something a little bit inconvenient for Real Madrid, who face Real Mallorca. Of course, Real Madrid are living a momentum. All wins since the beginning of the season. They play in front of a home crowd, and it's true there will be no Benzema, no Militao, but it's a team with so many forwards, so many arguments, and they should be able to beat El Vasco Aguirre's squad on this weekend.
You mentioned the shadows in the Bernabeu. That is something that is going to disappear once the covering is completed in the new stadium. But that will take some time before it happens. Now we have to dwell with the fact that the sun still manages to creep through and affect, when it comes to hot days like the one is expected on Sunday, affect the players. I just heard Jaume Costa, Mallorca's player, veteran, 34-year-old player, advising, why is it advised in some cities not to even walk outside and to be careful because of the heat and the extreme temperatures, yet footballers are having to go out there on the pitch at 2 p.m. when hot temperatures are expected in Madrid. Now, it's a hot decision, a hot topic, not this one, but who will replace Benzema now that he's hurt? At the beginning of the season, Carlo Ancelotti said, well, Eden Hazard has all the numbers to replace him, and I can play with a false nine. Now, truth be told, he's going to have to stick to his words. Otherwise, might be a crucifix for Hazard if he's not there on Sunday in the starting lineup.
I think so, Fernando, because it looks like the kind of game he should be there for the rival, for the momentum of the team, and for his momentum himself. He played in the Champions League. He did great. Ancelotti praised the player at the end of the game, and then you have a team like Mallorca visiting the Santiago Bernabeu. You don't have Benzema. I think you need to put Hazard there. I think there will be quite a number of changes in the starting 11. I imagine as well some players in the midfield resting too. I don't know if both of them or one of them, Modric and Kroos. I'm sure there will be more minutes for Camavinga, probably for Lucas Vázquez. We will see if he brings Pajarito Valverde back in the midfield and plays with Rodrigo there, enjoying a start. He has a lot of names that can replace this setback of Karim Benzema. He won't be able to play this game, but for good news for Real Madrid supporters, that injury is not as bad as we thought. We will be talking about this a little bit later on.
How about we jump right into that as we start with the insiders information with Gemma Soler from Spain. So insider information, news, you were mentioning Benzema. There's got to be some news as to how bad was the injury he suffered in Glasgow, the one that had all the Real Madrid fans gasping for air, wishing that he did not have an injury that will keep him out for a long time. What have you heard?
Hmm. Well, at the beginning of the just seeing that injury in Celtic Park, of course, all the alarms were on, and the fans and even the Carlo Ancelotti's staff they looked quite worried. They were really worried. But the good news arrived yesterday when the test revealed that it's not something broke, but it's just an injury in the right thigh. And we could be talking about maybe a month. But we can explain is that Karim Benzema himself is an optimistic. He started training on the side of his teammates. He was in the Sport City of Valdebebas earlier today. He was there also with his private physical therapist, and they are working all together with the club to be able to make this injury as short as possible. Logical say that he would miss the derby of Madrid's derby, but it's always a special game. So the message he is giving to his teammates and colleagues is that don't say I'm not going to be there. Let's see, let's try. He tries to have it as short as possible. Of course, common sense will say Carlo Ancelotti will not run any risk with such a capital player for his teammates, such a game changer. But that's the info we can talk about Karim Benzema trying to make this injury as short as possible.
2 home games, one against Mallorca, the other one's against RB Leipzig, who have a new coach, a new manager in charge after they parted ways with Domenico Tedesco. Is Marco Rose in charge of the East German side. This is what Karim Benzema said in his in social media posts. Won't complain. My comeback will be strong. Thank you for all the messages. So he won't complain about the injury. He looks to be taking it on the positive side. Maybe as part of the process. As part of our process, we have to jump right into Ousmane Dembele, who's, as part of his process, has been listening to Xavi, maybe, right? Because he looks to have been taking more and better decisions lately on the pitch.
Yes, he does. That's one of the big changes of Ousmane Dembele, who has always been such a talented player. But as you mentioned, when he arrived, and probably the 5 years we've seen him in Barcelona, he tended to take the bad decision. What has changed so much in Ousmane Dembele? I think we can mention 3 things that brought them in the best moment of his football career, what he's enjoying right now with Barcelona. One, very important, is that he feels comfortable in the team. He was not very well accepted when he arrived. It's true that he's a little bit messy player. He had some problems like arriving late to the trainings because he was falling asleep. Well, he could see like some teammates leak that info to the press, and he was every day in the press saying this crazy player falls asleep and arrives late to school, to training. Now he feels much more comfortable. He's very well accepted, for example, for Robert Lewandowski. When Lewandowski talked to him the first time, he said, "You are going to give me so many assists, so many goals." So he feels comfortable. That's one of the big changes. The physicality. He's working a lot, and plus he changed his diet, and the way that he's being treated by Barcelona services. He has a private physical therapist at home who works at home after trainings, and the doctor Ricard Peruna, he was fired in last year. Now Xavi took him back, and is a doctor that works very well with Ousmane Dembele. That would be my number 2. And maturity, Fernando, that would be my last point. This is something that comes with the age. Also the maturity of his body, his muscles. He tends to get less injuries. And mentally, I think that's as well because he takes best decisions, because he has experience and he's a much more mature player.
And confidence too. And who wouldn't have the confidence of Dembele when his coach is supporting him the way that Xavi is, by mentioning that he plays like the best Neymar that Xavi saw. And remember, Xavi and Neymar were teammates in that treble winning year of 2015. That should be enough motivation. And talking about motivation, what about Lewandowski's to face his former teammates, right? She should be motivated when they face Bayern Munich next week in European competition. But how about his former teammates' motivation to face Robert Lewandowski?
They are very much motivated too. As you know, Fernando, we were in covering that trip to Milan to Giuseppe Meazza on Wednesday on the Champions League, where they got a 2-0 win against Inter. Well, we could talk with some of the players after the game, also with some of the people surrounding Bayern Munich. And for them, it was already very spicy to have Barcelona on the same group. And this day was in red with the agenda. But the fact that his former star Lewandowski is doing so great. When I interviewed the players after the game, they all knew that at the exactly same time where they were playing, Lewandowski scored a treble against Victoria Pilsen, so a hat trick. I meant. So they all knew that, and I can tell that Müller, Neuer, Alphonso Davies, all the former teammates are really motivated, and I've been told that they are very excited to prove Lewandowski wrong, that the future was to stay in Bayern Munich, even though he was a professional and he wanted another thing, and he was not disrespectful to the club or to the teammates. And they are a little bit, they want to show Lewandowski that they are still the best, and they have such a great record in the late years against Barcelona last season, or that painful 8-2 in the Champions League in Lisbon in the final. So let's see what happens first.
That's a match worth making some popcorn for. Let's go to our extra time today, and we're going to see what Joaquin has to offer once his legendary career comes to an end. He mentioned he was going to extend that career after Betis won Copa del Rey's title last season. He gave the crowd another reason to celebrate, telling them he will remain on the team for an extra year. Now he's starting to plan, Gemma, what his career after football will look like. Take a look at this.
He llegado a lo más alto, pero el final está cada vez más cerca. Y ahora me acuerdo de lo que me decía mi madre.
Joaquinito, tienes que prepararte, que algún día el fútbol se va a acabar.
Ya sé lo que voy a hacer cuando deje el fútbol.
Joaquín el Novato, muy pronto estreno en Antena 3.
Now, how disciplined is Joaquin going to be with the screenwriters when it comes to reading the scripts of his show? Is it going to be as free as he is on the pitch when he plays the game?
I'm afraid so, and probably that already is in the contract. He signed to do this first series called the freshman or the rookie, right? The El Novato. He's such a talented player, but even more talented actor. He's so funny. He's really a great character. So I'm sure he has a future. I don't know. I think he can go to Hollywood. I imagine him so much doing a stand-up comedy, and this kind of comedy, this serious comedy. I think he's gonna be really, really fun, because only him explaining something fun, I could be explaining you. This is my remote. That he would be hilarious explaining the same thing. He's got this funny nature inside of him, so I'm sure we will enjoy a lot of Joaquin. We still enjoy in La Liga every weekend. We saw him at the Bernabeu playing some minutes and trying to get a draw that it couldn't happen. But we enjoy so much him this season here in La Liga, and in the future as an actor, I'm sure we will.
Gemma, as managers are so jealous about the information they give to their players during practice or during, video sessions or tactical board sessions, forget about. Let us have television cameras behind the scenes in the dressing room. Forget about all the tactical discussion and the scuffling and the fights, and let us just witness Joaquin's dressing room habits, game in and game out. That's it. All we want to hear is his jokes. Forget about football, right?
That would be so refreshing, so fun. I don't know if in all the locker rooms, but in Betis one, I'm sure it will be fantastic. So let's
I've heard stories of many players and anecdotes of many players telling jokes about Joaquin and what he does to lighten up the mood. He's a player that every dressing room needs. And this is an episode of La Liga Insiders that you definitely needed in your life. Now you are a much better person after having witnessed what we have given you today in La Liga Insiders. Gemma, thank you so much.
Adios, amigos.
And we should say, you're welcome. I know your life is much better after this episode. Have a great day.